What is earnest money? If you're wondering what that is, stay tuned. We are talking about that right now. Welcome back and thank you for tuning into my channel. It's Shayna Flemming with the Flemming team, and today we are talking about earnest money, what it is, and ways that you can lose your money, earnest money, and ways that your realtor, your rockstar agent, helps you to not lose your earnest money. Okay, so what is earnest money? Earnest money, another word for earnest money is skin in the game. This is a part of the contract when you're writing an offer in on a home. It is a deposit that you make towards the purchase of the home, and showing good faith to the seller that you are really earnest and that you're serious about purchasing this home. So earnest money is typically 1% of the purchase price. So if the home is $150,000, then the earnest money is going to be $1,500. In some cases, you can do as little as $500. It just depends on your situation and also what the seller is willing to accept. Another important thing to note is that this is actually money that you're going to have to put up. You're either going to have to write a check, personal check, or cashier's check. This money is made out to the escrow attorney or title company, depending on where you're at, but they are going to cash this check and put it into an escrow account, and they will hold that until closing. And that money will basically come off the purchase price of the home, and it'll be less cash that you have to bring to the closing table. If you have to bring cash, in some instances, you might get a check back at closing. It just depends on what type of financing you have. Another thing I want to note is that, I said it before, you have to have a check or money order. You cannot use a credit card or a debit card to pay your earnest money. Now, in some instances, you actually can use a debit card if it's new construction. Some new construction companies will actually accept a debit card because they're a bigger company. But when we're dealing with the resale and a personal seller, they're not going to accept a debit card nor the attorney's office. So you're going to have a physical check or a cashier's check from your bank. All right, let's talk about how you can lose your earnest money. There are ways you can lose your earnest money. And so you want to have a rockstar agent in your corner helping you through this process to make sure that your earnest money is not compromised. Okay, so the first way you can lose your earnest money, and really the only true way, is by not fulfilling everything in the contract. There are a lot of ways that your earnest money is protected in the residential contract in the state of South Carolina. So we'll talk about those things first, and then we'll come back to the way that you can lose your earnest money. So the first way that your earnest money is protected in the contract is through the due diligence period. So you have 10 business days after the contract has been ratified, meaning both parties come together and agree. And during that due diligence period, you get your inspections and everything done. You also create a repair addendum if one is needed, but you have 10 business days. So if in that 10 business day period, you want to back out of the contract for any reason, you can, and you can get your earnest money back. All right, the second way your earnest money is protected in the contract is through appraisal. So you are getting a loan, and through that loan, you pay for an appraisal. And so an appraiser is going to come out. They're going to assess the value of the home, assess comparable homes in the area to make sure that you are paying the true value for the home that you are looking to buy. If the home does not appraise for the value, you can get your earnest money back if you and the seller cannot come to terms on the price. And the last way that you can get your earnest money back within those the terms of the contract is if your financing falls through. Now, this is kind of where you can lose your earnest money as well. So this is where your agent comes in. If your financing falls through 5 business days before the close date that you have set on the contract, then you can get your earnest money back. If it's 4 days or less and your financing falls through, you cannot get your earnest money back in that period. You have basically forfeited the contract by not securing financing. within that 5 business days before close date, and therefore your earnest money would go to the sellers. All right, guys, so that's it. We talked about earnest money, what it is, how you are protected in the contract to get your earnest money back in case everything doesn't work out, and how you can lose your earnest money. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, make sure to give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you guys subscribe so that we could give you more updates on all things real estate here in Columbia, South Carolina, and the surrounding areas. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our first time home buyers video, as well as information on what to expect on closing day if you're already in the process of buying a home. Until next time, guys, as always, thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one. Bye.